Alright, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Black Caesar, 1973, starring Fred Williamson. This has to be one of my least favorite Larry Cohen movies. I've only seen a handful of them, but I give it 2 out of 5 stars. I was disappointed. I thought it would be like Shaft. That's what everybody kept saying on Netflix and um, IMDb, whatever review sites are out there for movies. They're just, first of all, the white racist New York cop, the commissioner. He was he wasn't very good. I thought Anthony Quinn was a better white racist cop from New York City, but that's just my opinion. And there's too much politically correct stuff going on. I guess Larry Cohen is trying to impose his political values on the viewer by saying that the early 70s were more liberal than, say, prior times. No doubt there was a lot of racism going on in the mid 60s. I don't doubt that for 1 second. But it's a little bit too much overkill, I think, especially when the white dude says "mammy" in blackface. That was kind of crazy. But I did like the police corruption aspect of it. And the most annoying line has to be when Fred Williamson says, "Come on now, everybody's liberal." In other words, you have to be liberal in order to accept colored folk in, well, at least in Fred Williamson's mind, or Larry Cohen's mind, whatever. So that was kind of annoying. I don't know what liberal means. I guess he means socially liberal. Whatever. So that was kind of dumb. The dialogue was dumb. There really wasn't much of a plot. It's just about Fred Williamson starts out as a shoe shine boy in the 50s, and that kind of pissed me off too. So he's shining this white dude's shoes. I guess because his mom waits tables and cleans toilets or whatever. She's basically a maid type, living in the ghetto. So she's doing all this stuff, being a single mom. Meanwhile, the dad is off in some war, probably presumably the Korean War, I guess, and he's not sending money over. So now they get a rough life. I guess Larry Cohen is trying to say that you grow up according to your surroundings, which is another politically correct notion. Unlike Angels with Dirty Faces, where there's a priest dude amongst all the gangsters, the Rufus guy is a total charlatan priest guy. I guess he's Fred Williamson's half-brother or something. And then there's a snarky Joe guy who's supposed to be smart because he made it through high school or something, and he wears glasses like I'm wearing. And so I guess that makes him a smart dude. So he's the brains behind Fred Williamson. But anyway, getting back to the beginning, back in the 50s, Fred Williamson is shining shoes. He's shining this white dude's shoes, keep telling him, "Come on, hurry up, I don't have much time." And then sure enough, a hitman comes out and shoots the guy. with people walking around. It's bizarre because you keep seeing people get shot in this movie, and people just stand around like nothing happened. It's not like God told me to when people are freaking out and running all over the place. They just keep walking and going about their normal business. In New York City, like murder is just a normal course of business there. That was kind of ridiculous. And then, so Fred Williamson witnesses this murder. He runs off with his shoeshine box, and he bumps into the hitman. The hitman gives him a bunch of money to be quiet, and then he's supposed to be like a delivery boy for mafia money. That's how he meets the white racist dude who later becomes the commissioner. And he gets beat up pretty bad because the money envelope was $50 short. And the white racist dude thinks that Fred Williamson took it. So from that point on, Fred Williamson wants to get revenge on Whitey. He tries to fight the well, first he infiltrates the Italian mafia by chopping off this dude's ear and putting it on the guy's spaghetti bowl. I guess that's how you make a big impression for the mob. Then he wants to run the Harlem area or 144th Street or somewhere around there. And the racist Italian dude is like, all right, we don't want to touch that. I'll give you a chance, even though he hates Williamson, doesn't trust him. Sure enough, Williamson ends up killing the guy. And all of his white friends out there in California when they're throwing a party. The Joe dude steals his girl. So he almost kills the Joe dude. The Joe dude and his former girlfriend are living in some apartment. She's like a welfare mom. Keeps producing babies left and right. And he's an unemployed lawyer. And meanwhile, Fred Williamson keeps trying to inflict violence as a means for social justice, which is kind of like watching Black Panthers in Sympathy for the Devil. Or it's a more malevolent form of government, because government always operates under false pretense. So there's that aspect of it, kind of annoying, but I just couldn't feel sympathetic towards anybody in this movie. They just go about their business like violence is a cool thing. He even rapes a girl. He even rapes his girlfriend before that Joe dude takes her away, and then he beats her. So that was pretty hard to watch. And he's a mean mother, according to James Brown. I hated the James Brown's soundtrack, by the way. So there's that aspect of it. I'm not into funk or disco or whatever they were calling it back in 1973. Yeah. I remember that music when I was a little boy, but never really got into it. I know my mom's neighbor liked that kind of music. Used to listen to it in his car. But he was a pretty cool dude. They were an interracial couple, a white gal and a black dude, living in my apartment building back in the early '70s, man. And they bought a house in in San Jose. I haven't seen that guy in a long time, probably since the 80s. But in any case, I'm glad that they were able to buy a house, get out of their apartment, and have a baby, a mixed baby. Um, Getting back to the movie, I thought it was rather. I don't know. I was disappointed. Cross 144th Street is better. If you want to see a movie from around that time, that's much better. Check that one out. I don't think I've seen Shaft all the way through, but Shaft looks better. Um, I was disappointed. I thought I was going to, Larry Cohen is one of my favorite directors. God Told Me To and It's Alive 3 are two of my favorite movies, but there's a little bit too much of his political nonsense going on there. Kind of reminded me of James Gunn when he did the movie Slither. He wanted to insert his ideology on other people, whatever it is. I don't know. Beats me. But yeah, I was disappointed. I like Larry Cohen. I like Fred Williamson a lot. I didn't like this movie. I didn't hate it because it did have that cool police corruption aspect to it, but that was a very minimal part of the story. It was really all about Fred Williamson imposing social justice. For instance, he buys his white lawyer's penthouse apartment. Then he grabs all the fur coats he can and he just throws them out on the street like manna from heaven. That was kind of ridiculous. I mean, why would anybody do that? Unless they were really bitter and, I don't know, just acting stupid. Seems like everybody acts stupid in this movie, doing things that contradict common sense. But hey, I don't know. I just didn't think he was a believable gangster. I thought the story was a bit silly, and he was just doing things that didn't make sense. Like, for instance, pretending to be a gangster and then buying up all the white people's businesses in Harlem. That wasn't very mafia-like. I mean, I don't know. Somehow the mafia owning disco music didn't really make sense to me, but that was just me. So it was confusing at times. Okay, is this guy like black entrepreneur or a black mafia dude? I couldn't figure it out. It was confusing. I guess he wanted to be everything, and that was part of Larry Cohen's spiel. If you want to run the mafia, you have to own all these legitimate type businesses besides prostitution and drug dealing. So in that sense, he was kind of a clean mafia guy or a straight mafia guy, which didn't make sense either because there's more profit in drugs and prostitution probably than there is in paying all the taxes and putting up with all the regulations. Although the Rufus dude, the fake preacher in the Baptist church, he does mention that all of the church money is tax-free. So there's that element. Maybe I guess the tax-free church money was helping to pay for the side businesses that Black Caesar was running, Fred Williamson. So there's that, and just couldn't get into this flick. Yeah, there are some cool scenes, lots of blood and shootouts, whatever. But I don't know. this movie wasn't for me. I had to check it out though because it had so much hype. It's MGM, Larry Cohen, and all that. So anyway, that's the end of my review. I'm gonna check out Ganja and Hess now. Later.